with? Verse 3. Let's take a look. Blessed is the one who reads the words of this prophecy. You guys are blessed tonight for coming. I didn't say that, God did. Blessed are those who hear and take it to heart and what is written in it. Because the time is what? Near. That's where we left off last time. John, to the 7 churches in the province of Asia, grace and peace to you from Him who is, who was, from Him who is to come, from the 7 spirits before His throne, and from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, the firstborn from the dead, and the ruler of the kings of the earth. Who rules over the kings of this earth? Who's in control? Hey, folks, if you want to get freaked out like what one preacher said one time, if you're all worried about this globalist, if you're worried that we're next on the pike to be annihilated, go home tonight, read Psalms chapter 2, and go to sleep. God is the one who is in control, and He says in the heavens, and all these people are trying to rebel at Him, and they're just trying to usurp His authority. He's laughing. What do you guys think you can overthrow me? Are you kidding? And we belong to God. We're His children. Hey, read Psalm 2. Close it. Go to sleep. Have a great night's sleep. Trust in Jesus Christ. We left off last time, the time is near. And what we saw, if you were here, is the time is not chronos for time or chronology or chronological. It's kairos. It means season or epic. And that's what we saw. The season. It's not just near we saw. It's absolute. The season, the next epic on God's plate is absolute. We have the man-made timeline. How many guys was that? Whoa, that was big. That was huge, that timeline. Yes, that's what I get for boasting, because the incredible Dr. Neil had one that was probably, 14 miles long? You just had to bring it in, didn't you? But that's right. And so, but anyway, so we saw the incredible, you beat mine to a T, man. But anyway, so we saw that timeline. We saw that the next thing on the pike, folks, we're that close. The season, the epic. And what we saw, folks, is the question is, are you ready? We took a look at the 2 different parables, not just readiness, but watchfulness. One day Jesus Christ is coming back to get His bride. And so we thought, well, gee whiz, what's this rapture thing? We're not making this up. 1 Thessalonians, we just looked at one text, chapter 4, and what we saw there was it's really going to happen. People are going to disappear from this planet. And that's when we saw that video. How many guys, you were here during that study, and when we showed it this Sunday, you still jumped? I tell you what, that thing is absolutely awesome. And where we left off last time was, folks, even though the irony is much of the church does not want to believe in the rapture, where we left off last time is much of the occult, the New Age, that's the very event that they're waiting for to usher in this Antichrist kingdom. And that's what we saw. We saw quotes from New Age, and I'll read a couple of them real quick. The people who leave the planet during the time of the earth changes do not fit here any longer. They're stopping the harmony of the earth. When the time comes that perhaps 20 million people leave the planet at one time, what does that sound like? Yeah. They say there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. You bet there will. The occult, a direct quote from the occult says, people, they're expecting people to disappear. A direct quote is, they won't necessarily die. Quote, they will elect to leave this dimension as if going to another room. What does that sound like? And they believe that once that happens, that the new world leader will take his rightful place over the world. That's what the occult is waiting for. Very interesting. And as we saw last time, I don't base my belief on the rapture, on what the occult teaches. I find it very ironic, though, that that's the very thing they're waiting so they can get their program started, okay? And that's where we left off last time. We said, well, gee whiz, if that's going to happen, man, I mean, somebody better come up with the ultimate excuse. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, you know what I'm saying? You better come up with something because, man, we're talking a global crisis, okay? And so you got to come up with something. And what I left off with a little teaser last time was the UFOs. How is that going to play into explaining away the rapture? Well, in a nutshell, what you're going to say is, I truly believe this is going to be one of the things, is, hey, Larry, I'm sorry you were left behind, buddy. Sorry, but Ed's not here, so you're right there next to him, next to Russ. And he's looking at me weird about that chicken leg thing, so I got to back off. So, but anyway. So I'm sorry you left behind, but don't worry, Larry. Lillian, besides that bumper sticker thing, she didn't get in a wreck. No. The UFOs took her. Okay? Don't worry. She's okay. You're going to enter into the age of utopia because you had the correct spiritual frequency to handle the change. Folks, that's exactly what is happening today. And let me give you a little definition, and this is where we left off last time. Hey, folks, it's no brainer with the UFO issue. Okay? If it walks like a demon, talks like a demon, acts like a demon, gee whiz, what do you kind of think it might be? Demon. And so that's what I'm going to lead you through tonight, because this is the time is near. That was the epic that we saw on the timeline. You got the 7-year tribulation, folks, and we're here at that epoch. The time is near. Do we have any idea how close it is? And again, if that happens, folks, somebody better come up with the ultimate excuse. And I'm telling you, we're living in the days where people are being prepared to receive one of the biggest lies that we've been prepped for decades, called UFOs. Let's take a look. Is it really demons? Okay, let's take a look. Number one, the reason why I really believe that they are demons is because they debunk Jesus. And I'm not the only one that believes this, okay, with that, because when you look at their supposed channel messages, and they're supposedly, giving these people messages, I kid you not, okay? People write books about, the Space Brothers. They got all kinds of terminology, the Ashtar Command and all this stuff, okay, that they've been beaming these messages to them, okay? And they believe they're teaching people that they are our saviors. Okay, they're going to rescue humanity from the coming cataclysms to come on the planet. And that's another way to explain away the judgments of God. No. It's not the judgments of God. It's Mother Earth cleansing herself. But that's okay. We're all here orbiting Earth. And we'll take care of it. If it gets too bad, we'll, get you out of there. It's exactly what they're teaching with people. But here's the point. Many people, not even Christians, many UFOologists, they sit there and go, this is first clue that something weird's going on here. And again, these are non-Christians too. It's very strange that if you really did come all the way across the galaxy, you get here, and all you do is debunk Jesus Christ. You'd think you'd have something better to do. And then why only Jesus? But not only that, folks, they promote a one-world religion. Now, why would you come all the way across the galaxy just to debunk Jesus? Okay? Let me read you some actual, 8 points that they are teaching people in these supposed channel messages. They teach that all of us are little gods. What does that sound like? Mormonism sounds like also Genesis chapter 3. What was the lie from who? Satan. That we're all little gods. They teach the earth is a living entity and we need to worship her and change our ways or we're going to be destroyed. That's what they're teaching. Is that true? Okay? They teach, listen, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha all came from the ETs to assist mankind in our next step of spiritual evolution. That's kind of interesting. There is no such thing, they say, as sin, and we do not need to be saved. These are their messages. Number 5, Orthodox Christianity has it all wrong. Jesus' real message was to teach us that each one of us can become Christs. Whoa, very interesting. To aid in contacting these heavenly beings, one should refrain from certain foods and practice meditation. Mankind, number 7, needs to unite in a one-world government and religion, or you're going to be destroyed. And finally, they say the devil, or Lucifer, he's actually a good guy who's come to free us. The early church got it all wrong and started a bad rumor. Now, folks, that's not just wrong, and it's not just heretical. Why in the world would you fly? This is the first red flag. All the way across the galaxy, supposedly, and they're not, we're going to see in a second, just to debunk Jesus Christ and promote what the Revelation says, the Antichrist kingdom. That sounds almost kind of demonic. That's right. Neil, I almost thought you had it there, but no. Demonic. If it walks like a demon, talks like a demon, chew with, where do you think it's coming from? A demon. The second thing that why I would say, folks, is because, again, we're dealing with something not physical, folks. We're dealing with something spiritual. And I shared this before. Jacques Vallée, he's one of the top world ufologists. And to my knowledge, he's not even a Christian. After 30, 40 years of research with the UFOs and what he's observed, probably more than anybody on the planet, he has determined that these things are not physical in nature. They're ethereal. He says because we know they're not physical. He says because these supposed craft that we're seeing, he says they're going, we clock them at 16,000 miles an hour, they make a right turn. Physically, if that were to happen, if you could get a ship to do that and make a 90-degree angle at 16,000 miles an hour, what would happen physically? You would be utterly smashed down to the atomic level. And he says, not only that, is these beings seem to appear and disappear at will. He says, and this is a non-Christian, he said these beings are not coming from outer space, they're coming from inner space. They're coming from another dimension.